area in the software. By this time we have used most of the software that are included here, right? So we have used the interface, the WinApix interface, we have used SPAO hydrology, we have used the tool for daily preparation, for monthly weather statistics. We left with few tools to see, right? One of the powerful tools that we'll see today is the Apex Editor. So this is the Apex Editor. It's also a macro Excel macro program. So if you open it first, I will explain about this before we move to the actual one. So this is the file for, the editor interface. Okay. So the first tab shows just the number of tabs that we have and the type of data that's available in the database. So this is just explanation of each file types. Nothing more information available on this except to show the file types. Okay. And the other tab is the Apex file. In the Apex tab, it shows you like Apex file .dat. It's like a .dat file. The Apex simulation. So this contains a list of files available or created by the WinApix simulation or by the WinApix run. So the first one is the site code. It is about site information. The information about the site, okay, and the input data that are selected for the specific site. And the other is sub area form, that is sub a form. That is a file that has a list of sub areas. So far we have created one sub area, right? But if you have multiple sub areas and you like to integrate them here, you can provide the list of sub areas available for the model to choose. Okay. And the other file is the WPM file, that is the list of monthly weather station file. So we have created one weather station, okay, and if you have multiple weather station or multiple monthly weather generator to use and select from that, then you can provide the list of monthly weather station. And this is the place for wind station, list of wind station, and crop.dat is a file for crop parameters. Okay, you have a number of parameters about the crop and the list of crops that are available, and their associated parameters will be there. Tillage file is the list of tillage equipment available and the associated tillage input requirement or parameter. The tillage file is not only cloud operation, irrigations, IDs, or plowing machineries, harvest machineries, or weeding machineries are available in this field file. So what you are required is just you need to select type of plow, type of irrigation, and others from the tillage file. Pestcom is a list of pesticide information and available input parameters. So each pesticide with associated parameter will be provided here. Fertilizer com, first com, is about the list of fertilizers available there and their associated parameters. Soil com is a list of soil data and their associated parameters. We know what are the soil input parameters required, right? So this will have list of soil with their properties. Operation file ops.com is to show you the different operations, list of operations. That is, for example, we have seen yesterday corn, dry run, no till. That is one operation, right? If you have multiple operations with different crop, with different tillage practice, then it needs to be here. And this is the data for runoff estimation. And parm is a list of parameters that are a stable parameter or parameters that you can modify for calibration to just mimic the observed value. And this is a file to provide multiple run. And the last one, this I mean the print file is to select what time step that you will print the results and what results are you interested in to print. And also this is herd. This is for simulating herds of animal and grazing. And this is list of daily weather station. We have been looking this from the database if you remember. List of daily weather station 8003, 8004. So if you have multiple, you can include them here. And this is for file. And if this file is, if you are interested in less than daily interval. So these are the list of files available in Apex. So this is what Apex file what that mean have. Apex run. It has the output run name. Okay, the site number that you like to run. As you say, you might have multiple sites. Then you choose here which site to run, right? Which site you like to have. Monthly weather station number. You provide the monthly weather station, wind station, and sub area number for that specific run. And then you can change the sub area. You can change the weather if you are interested. Apex control file, as we have been looking at the database, the control file has a number of variables and parameters that you can modify. These are the description. So the first one is number of years of simulation and the DYR, and this is the beginning year of simulation, beginning month, beginning day of simulation, and this is the print code. For example, if you provide here on the left, you can see that print code 1, for example, is for annual watershed output, 2, annual printout, monthly, monthly with soil table, and etc. And there are many. So here also potential evapotranspiration. So this is estimation method. You can also select the control the estimation method. How do you like to estimate the potential evapotranspiration? Unity, Polyman Montes, Fermat, Superior, Hargrave, or Bear Robusta. And you have many things to modify, and everything is available also uh, on the manual. Okay, just to show you uh, from the manual. Let's see, for example, and we see. Let's say, for example, we are interested to see about uh, NVCN, non-varying carbon number, CN. Okay, let's move on. So this is soil moisture index estimation technique. So So 0 is variable curve number nonlinear, and 1 is variable daily curve number nonlinear. So the value ranges up to 4. So similarly, if you like to know about each individual abbreviation, you can go to the manual and see which methods that you like to adapt. So it continues up to here. So there are many. And there are also channel characteristics and everything. Now let's go to the till.file. This is a tillage operation. So these are the machinery IDs for tillage or plow, also for irrigation, or for pesticide applications. All of the materials, all of the machineries for the tools are available here. So you have many, like more than 700 tillage operations. And these are the associated information. And the most important information, for example, is, this is a width of pass. If you are using a till equipment, and then you would like to modify the width of pass, that means the width of till. Right? And then if you specific tillage operations have some specific width, which is different from here, you can modify it here. Okay. Yeah. You can select, there are animals as well, for example, horse here, and you can modify some of the parameters. But mind you that these all parameters came from an experimental research for many years in Texas. So if you like to modify them, you need to have some experiment at least, right? And this is the mixing efficiency of each tillage. And this is the tillage depth. For example, TLP is the tillage depth. Whatever tillage practice you select, you can modify also the tillage depth, how deep is tilling, right? And for example, if you like to have a tillage depth of 0 or no till practice, you can make the depth to 0. Okay. And there are many. If you go here, also the different operations that I was saying, plow operation, field operation, harvest operation, irrigation operation are available here. So there are some descriptions about the machinery of the equipment here, about the tractor and their horsepower. And if it is a planter, you have planter here, planter in row, or something like that, and cultivator. Okay, and you have roller. So descriptions about the equipment are available here. Fertilizer applications also here. So check them all. So you have there is also irrigation application, learning, sensor keyboard furrow. So this is a tillage operation. 5. This is a crop. Look that file. There are more than 100 and for not 140. So more about 140, for example, crop database. Okay, these are the name of the abbreviation for the crop: soybean, corn, and others. This is a wheat. You can get this abbreviation from the crop. Note that file description in the manual. So this is a detailed parameter associated with each crop. Soybean, for example, this is the biomass energy ratio, this harvest index, this is the maximum or optimal temperature that the plant can tolerate to grow. And this is where if the temperature is very high, from this one you see temperature stress when you run the model. You saw that yesterday, right? There's temperature stress, water stress, or something like that. Then, if it is beyond this, you'll get temperature stress. And also, you have base temperature. Base temperature is the minimum temperature that the plant needs to germinate. Okay, and below this one, it's going to be dormant. And these are the maximum potential leaf area index, fraction of growing season, and sector. So you have okay, multiple parameters. We go to the right also. So for example, you have here, let's say y dy. This is fraction of water in the yield. So remember that when we run the model, right? We have got a dry yield, corn dry yield, and if you also select other parameters, that is also a dry yield. That the dry and the water component of each crops are listed here. For example, for the soybean, uh, the fraction of water in the yield is 0.13. Okay, that means the dry yield is 0.87. 87% of that vegetable is dry. So the fraction of water is high when you go to like vegetables like tomato and something like that. Fraction of water is very high. For example, you can check, for example, 1.5 for uh, 1.5 for corn, and let's see, for example, tomato, 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 for example, here you can see that 94% water for tomato. So these all are information about related to each crop, and it's also possible to modify uh, the parameters from here, but make sure that you have an experimental result. Okay, to modify this. Fertilizer. These are the list of fertilizers available. So, and these are the associated parameters for the fertilizer needed. Okay. Most of the time in Ethiopia we use two types of fertilizer. One is urea and the other is DAP. But if you have a specific type of fertilizer, you can add it here at the bottom with all this necessary information. You need mineral N fraction of nitrogen and mineral P fraction of nitrogen. Most of them you get it from the specification or from uh, the manufacturer specification, right? They provide the mineral N specification and others. But if you like to use also local types of fertilizer, you need to do some laboratory analysis to come up with those values. And this is the pest database, pesticide. So there are many pesticide types and with different information as well. And you can see which pesticides have you used if you have used already. And if not available, you can add the pesticide by default. These are parameters in Apex. So these two columns up here, they call them, they are stable parameters. So we don't need to modify these parameters. Okay? Unless there is critical issue or differences with our case that can be verified with experimental analysis. These two columns are stable parameters. So uh, we are not required to modify this. You start from here, starting from 1 up to 90 plus parameters, okay, up to 99 parameters. These are available for you to modify depending on the need to simulate the water, stream flow, sediment, and others. So the description of each parameters is available to the right. So you need to first know which parameters control the water balance, which parameters control the sediment, and which parameters have significant effect on crop yield and nutrient balance. Otherwise, you end up modifying 100 parameters and it's going to be. These are the print uh, options, okay, available for you to choose. These are numerical numbers. Okay. There is auto calibration as well. Okay, but still, you need to know. Okay, uh, most important parameters. We can do some sensitivity analysis as well. We do some sensitivity analysis, but manuals gives you more detail which parameters are linked to which process. So in that case, it will help us to identify the most important one besides the sensitivity analysis. Okay, and most of the time also we would like to the auto calibration will help you to go some steps, and then we would like to fine tune after that also using the manual calibration. And in that case, we need to know in detail about the parameters and the process that they are affecting. And print dot that is a print option. You see that all codes, numerical codes, and you can go to the right if you like to know which numbers are which. Okay, 1 refers to maximum temperature, 2 refers to minimum temperature, and these are based on the observed data, right? These are for the observed data. If you like to bring some the observed data in your output, you can do it. But these are the simulations, right? Potential evapotranspiration, actual evapotranspiration, runoff, for example. And if you like to bring the curve number, select it also. So these are the different options for print. You can see there are multiple options to print. So these are the codes to print. These are concentration variable, monthly variable, and others. Okay. So these are, so whenever you like to print, for example, also in this case, which output file are you looking for? You provide one to allow to be printed, the output, and you provide zero if you don't like that output file to be printed. Okay. Dimensions, this is just dimensions of the space for maximum application. For example, maximum pesticide space, that is the space in the computer system. So, for example, if you have multiple pesticide application, you can increase the space. Maximum use of number of rotation, for example, it is up to 45 years of rotation here. If you have more than 45 years of rotation, you can increase the space. This is the operation file where we can do much works about our field. Okay, this is the operation file. So in this part, you can use the default, or you can even modify about the land use number. This is selected from the part we have already included in the interface. But here is the detail. here is a detail about the operation of your field. Which year did you plant, which month day, and what type of operation you have used. Okay, this is a tillage machine ID. You can give it 0. It will not have an effect uh, on the hydrological crop process. This is only used for economic purpose, so we don't use it. Crop ID, we select the crop ID from the crop database. Okay, so if, for example, in the operation file is 60, for example, you can see that 60 is onion. Okay, so that's the crop ID, and there are different tillage operations here. And to show you that, I'm going to the step-by-step manual. This is the structure, and we have plow or cultivate operation, harvest operation, planting, irrigation and fertilizer application or pesticide application operation. So these are the two common fertilizers used. And let me go to the Apex editor file. So more in detail about this operation. These are the commonly used type of operation. So this is a planting operation. You may use 136 or 137. Okay, for regular type of planter in Ethiopia. And plow operation is 250 operation is common. Fertilizer application 261 ID. Harvest operation 292. Kilo operation is 451. And irrigation operation is 502. So there are many different ID, but these are the common used ID. And I want you to use it also here in this example. And these are the different description, in the crop ID here, provide the crop ID as I said, OPP0. In OPP0, this is planting and so in OPP0, you need to provide either pesticide or fertilizer ID if you have already applied. Okay, so this is where we provide the fertilizer application or pesticide application. And then if you apply in OPP1, is a place where you like to include the specific type of fertilizer. So in OPP0, we tell just to apply fertilizer. Okay, in OPP1, we need to specify which type of fertilizer will be applied. So we select one among the different fertilizer type that we have seen in the fertilizer database. Okay, so that's how we include the OPP0 and OPP1, and also if you have a planting, we will also include the potential heat unit of that plant. Potential heat unit is the heat unit required to reach for that plant reach at the maturity stage. Maturity stage እስከሚደርስ ድረስ የሚያስፈልገው heat unit ማለት ነው. So we will see how we compute this heat unit for each different types of crops. Okay, and this is actually the equation for the heat unit. So it is a cumulative heat unit since planting until harvesting. So it is computed using the average temperature and the base temperature of that crop. And then average temperature and then the minimum air temperature of that experimental port. So we need also the potential heat unit that we like to include. Okay. For example, you can see that here 250 is we say it's the plow operation, right? And so that means, for example, for this case, our field was plowed 3 times before we come to plantation. So it was plowed in the first month, that is January 1, and January 15, and January 30. And in February 1, we did a plantation, for example. I mean, we did a 261 is fertilizer application, right? Yeah, we did fertilizer application, and at the same day we did plantation 136. Remember this common law operation. Okay, 201 is fertilizer application, law operation. This is planter, can be one of them. Harvest 292. So we applied fertilizer after plantation again. Okay, but you can see that this fertilizer and these fertilizer applications are different because the ID is different here. In OPV0, we specify the type of fertilizer here. Yeah. And in OPV1, okay, in this case we write the rate of application in kilogram per hectare. Okay, so in OPV2 we don't do anything here unless we like to change the land use number. Land use number here is selected from based on the hydrology soil group, and if you like to replace the land use condition, we can write it here. It will be replaced, but otherwise we will not write anything here. Now you can see that there is also another fertilizer application in February 20, and another fertilizer application in March 10, another fertilizer application in March 30, and then another fertilization application in April 20. Then by May, we did harvest this crop. 292 is harvest, right? We did harvesting, and at the same day or the next day we did kill. Can do it the same day. Kill operation. 451 is the kill operation. Then after that, you might have another plow operation. Okay. So this is how you prepare operation 5. And in this part, we trigger automatic irrigation. We decide whether to use automatic irrigation or manual irrigation. For example, if you like the model to simulate during the plantation, you trigger one refers to automatic irrigation. Okay, if that means irrigation will be applied whenever the water availability in the soil is below the field capacity. Okay, and then finally you can see how much irrigation needs to be applied for that field if you are doing this simulation before you plant. And negative 99 here is put to stop automatic irrigation. Okay, if you use one automatic irrigation and you don't provide negative 99, the model assumes that it is irrigating every time when it is below the field capacity. Even after harvest, it's going to do irrigation. So if you use automatic irrigation, you need to stop it during harvest time. So this is harvest, so you can't stop it here. So this is where you provide you modify your operation file, the type of irrigation, the type of fertilizer, the type of pesticide, the type of crop, everything you need, you work here. Okay.
Is it possible for livestock operation data?
Livestock what? Livestock simulation.
Yeah.
Livestock simulation is on the herd. So if you remember on the interface, so you provide the number of livestock and then provide the amount of intake and the what you say, the urine and the manure, everything over there. So it's flexible that you can modify the type of herd that you have, the number of herd that you have, and also the number of times that the herd is, spending on a confined area, and also the intake and also the urine manner. So if you do that, it's going to integrate, the model is going to integrate the herd and with a grazing land. So it's going to use it also, for example, if it is on non-grazing areas, they might have manure left on the field, and that will be also simulated as a fertilizer and many things. But that is not the objective for this training. So, but the operation file uses only for cropping system. Yeah, you'd like to say something about this? No? About the hack? Okay. So here is a list of weather station that you need to provide. So if you have many daily weather station, you can provide it. So you write 8001.pn Wi-Fi, put the ID here that you want to innovation, and you can provide any command. And this is the list of monthly weather station. So you provide the list here with latitude, longitude, elevation, and any command. This is also the wind. This is the sub area information. So the sub area information is the place also that you like to select which operation you like to use. For example, this is sub area ID. Sub area ID number 1. So this is the description of the sub area, nothing to do about it. But here you need to select the soil number from the soil list. Which soil you will be using for this sub area. Okay, you can specify that if you have multiple soil, you can specify the soil ID here. And operation schedule is the one that we did here. Okay, if we do operation schedule, okay, we need to provide it in the list of operation first. Let me see. This is the list of operation file. You provide for corn, for onion, anything. So you provide the operation file here, and this is the ID for the operation file. So in the sub area file, you need to bring that ID. You know which operation file to use. So otherwise, it's going to use the default operation file that is set during the interface. Now, if you modify the operation file, and if you like to use the new operation file, okay, you need to provide that operation. You need to provide it an ID, name, for example, a description of that, and then in the sub area file, you need to provide it here. Okay, so the others are more default, but there are also some important things here that we like to modify. For example, here rigidity of irrigation code. So 0 is for flexible, 1 is for rigid application. Rigid application is if you apply manual irrigation. So it is strictly applied only what is applied. So you need to select rigid type of irrigation code. If it is flexible, then that means you are doing an automatic irrigation. And these are the irrigation code. We can specify which irrigation type that we are using. Okay. Dry land irrigation. Dry land is no irrigation. That means no irrigation. So it is only using rainfall. And from 1 up to 5, you have up to 5 different types of irrigation. Sprinkler, furrow, and drip, most common one. And you can also provide the minimum application interval. So for example, if you choose to apply automatic irrigation, so you can specify also the minimum interval. If you say 2 days, just apply the whenever it is below field capacity, apply it in 2 days. So you can set the minimum application interval, and here is also minimum fertilizer application interval if you use automatic fertilizer application. Because most of the time we use specific date fertilizer application. And water stress factor. Water stress factor. Here 0 is manual irrigation, and 1 means it doesn't allow any water stress. So it doesn't allow any water stress means whenever there is below field capacity, there is irrigation, so the crop will not be stressed throughout the time. Okay, but if you like to specify that you are interested to see like 25% deficit, for example, okay, 25% irrigation deficit, you can provide here 0.75. That means whenever the crop reaches 0.75 of the field capacity, automatic irrigation will be triggered. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And runoff volume to volume of irrigation water applied. If you have this, most of the time when you have flooding or furrow operation, irrigation, you might have runoff out of your field. And if you like to specify irrigation efficiency, how much water is lost in the form of runoff as a percentage of the total water applied, you can provide here. So these are the most important parameters in this area. And these are the soil information. So you can, we already encoded our soil information in the database, right? But you can also edit it from here. You can call the soil, and this is the information of the soil for layer 1, for layer 2, you can do it up to 10 layers. So for now we have 2 layers. You can provide, here is for example the dates, and bulk density, melting point, field capacity, sand, silt, you can modify them here. And here also some important parameters like soil albedo. This is also hydraulic soil group. If it is C, it's going to be 3. If it is D, it's going to be 4. And yeah, so you can modify the soil here. As I said before, this is the list of operation file. Whenever operation file you have, you need to provide it here. And this is the site information, just provides the altitude, longitude, and concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If you have information, you can provide it. It will use it for nitrogen balance. Okay, that's all about the Apex data. So before we move to how we do operation file, if you have any question, we can discuss it for a few minutes. Party is ready to answer.
How this editor and then the data.
Okay, so we'll see it in a moment. If everything is clear in the explanation, I'll just move this one to our folder and we can see how we can read it at least. And then in the afternoon be ready to prepare your own script. Okay. Okay. Then if all good, you can copy this. I mean, you can close it. This has been in the software, right? The editor was in the software. So after you close it, this software is available in the training manual, right? So in the software folder you have the text editor, you can copy this and you will paste it to whatever Apex result you have. For example, yesterday we had a result on the baseline, we had Apex model simulation on the scenario 1, scenario 2. You can use either of the folders to do or to manipulate things in the Apex result. Now let's put it to the baseline, in the baseline folder. I'm not sure what name did you give yesterday. You might wrote it like result or something. So any folder name is okay, but you need to have the result, either scenario 1 or baseline or anything. So you paste it here and open it from here. Now we don't need the interface, we just work on the editor. Okay, the editor is so much flexible uh, to edit and add a number of parameters. So let's say, for example, in the Apex file, I mean this is a list of files. In the Apex run, in most of the tabs you have read, write, and run. Okay, run is just to run the simulation. If you just click on it, you can see that it's going to run it from the folder. Okay, once you modify and accept everything, you can just run it from here. But please be careful that do not use write before reading what is in the folder. Okay, do not use write before reading what is in the folder. If you hit write, it's going to replace the value which you see here in the Excel template, which is the default value, into your actual model. So do not do that. If you do that, you will be stuck. Okay. First, you need to read it. Okay, just read it. You can see that the value in your folder is different from the template. If you hit write, this would have been replaced, and then you will not be able to run it. So from this, if you like to change the run number and the site number, the monthly weather station number, wind station number, sub area number, so you can modify from here. But mind you that this code comes from the different folders that we have been looking, right? Sub area, delay method. When it comes to sub area, for example, sub area, so sometimes it's going to be 4 tabs. In that case, first you need to hit get files to see what sub area information are available. Get files, and then from the drop down menu, you can see that the sub area are WinApex sub that we have been using, WinApex sub. And then if you read it, then you get this information, right?
Yeah.
You can see that the sub area ID is 1. That means in the Apex run, where is the sub area? The sub area number should be 1 in order to use that sub area. Am I confusing you or is this clear?
Right.
Okay. So this is automatically selected unless you want to like to modify, you don't have to worry on this part. Okay, this is also how you get the edit, I mean the control file. So you have four in the control file. For example, hit the get file button and select the apex cone and make read. Okay, make read. When you read it, you can see that this is the actual data that you have. It is a 20-year simulation since 1990, right? Let me say I want to run it uh, for example, 30 years. Let's say you just type your 30. At the beginning year, let's begin in the same year. Once you type this, in order to replace the value in the folder, you need to hit right. Now, hit right button. Now you can run the model. Before you have changed the number of years of simulation, right? You can run the model. Now you can see that it's for 30 years. If you go here in the folder and check, for example, one of the file, it should be for 30 years. Since 1990 to 2009. Right? It was up to 2009. Now it is up to 2019. So, good. So this is, you can modify anything here. And if you like to replace it, you hit right button and run it.
Right.
Right means it will write the value in the apex code .dat file.
The operation. First enter the value, right or right. So you have written, for example, set.
Yeah.
Then after that only you.
Yeah. Yeah. To replace it. Yeah. But first you need to read it to get the value from the file, from the actual file. The value, when you open the Excel, the value you see is the arbitrary number from the template. Okay, that doesn't show your own database. So first you need to read it, and then if you like to do a changes, you just change the number, and then write and run it.
First from the value in Apex run at that, the value from you and the value from us is different.
The value from what?
You that displayed at Apex run. At row number 4, yours is 29, but mine is 28.
So it depends on the weather station ID that you have created in the database. This is just reading what you have. You know. So I didn't do anything here. This file is reading what you have created from the database and from the interface. Okay? If you have a different ID in the database, it will be having that ID. Okay, for the wind station. You know we have created wind station yesterday,
Yeah.
right? It will take that ID. The ID might be different for you and for me. And the other operation, the other thing I would like to show before lunch is that let me, so go to the operation file and now let's see get files. Okay. So this you see the extension OPC. Some of the Apex files have OPC operating file, and some of them they have OPS. So write OPS extension here and then get file. Now you should be able to see the available operation file that you have used. Write OPS here. Yeah, in that one. Yeah. Look at me. you write OPS here. Instead of OPC, so some of the Apex file, some of the Apex versions they use OPC, some of the versions use OPS. Both of them are to recall operation file. So so when you have OPC, you might got an error, right? Just write OPS get file, and you'll be able to see the operation file that you have. Select that one and say read. So this is the operation file that was uh, selected. Okay, that was from the default simulation. Okay, 5.ops. And remember that this 5.ops will be mentioned in the list of operation files. So once you have any operation file, it will be listed on the list of operation file ops c.dat. You say read. Did you make read of this one? Okay. So whatever operation file that you have listed here, it needs to be in operation file and it needs to be in the sub area file. For example, in the sub area file, the operation schedule 5 is listed. That is to show that the ID is 5 for the operation file. You got operation file. Data set also 5 with OPS. So, but I have to read also this list of operation file. Get files, for example, for this and this one, read. Reading for the soil, get files, read, the operating, reading for the phone. For the sub area file, get files, and for the site, reading for the site. So what is not reading is the OPS to that file.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me check if the file is available or not. So make sure everything is reading except this one, because this one is not reading for myself. This is the OPC.dat file from the notepad. So operation number 5 is call node dryline node key. So whatever operation file that you have, it needs to be listed here. We'll see to check the Apex editor to include it here, or else we will modify on the notepad. Okay, you can also write the ID here and the name, and then this is the description. You can provide a description here. So you have list of operation file. If you would like to add, then you add it here. 139, write the name, and it is in the opsc.file. So let me check another. Okay, check the version.
Ini
Get flexible. አምስት ነው እኮ እዛ።
So it is reading with some of the computer, but not reading with the other. Does anyone read this value?
File name is AGRR.
Okay, see with that.
Yeah, in that, within the bottom level it says AGRR.
That is the operation file.
Foreign grant till 1 year ROT says.
Where?
Under OPSSC data file.
In the notepad you mean?
No.
Excel.
Yeah.
So OPS here.
No. OPSC dot that.
OPSC does that.
Yeah.
So this one is not reading for me. So does that read for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
81 file.
We have up to ID number 128.
Only ID number 15.
50. So that's depend on the selection of the operation file. So it's fine if it reads for you, then that means you can modify it from your Excel. Okay. But for those of you if it's not reading, you will modify that part by the notepad. Okay.
እሱም መርጠ ነው እሱም መርጠ ነው
Reading my
Read our revision.
Iya, sudah.
So we'll be working on the baseline again. So you might open the Apex editor. I want you to modify the operation file based on this. This is just an example of rainfed corn production. Okay, we have plow operation on May 15, another plow operation in 1st of June, third plow operation in 5th of June, and then planting operation in 5th of June, and harvest operation in October. So these are the commonly operation used for plow, planting, fertilizer application, pesticide application, irrigation application, mechanical of the field harvest and field operation. So let's modify, still it is corn crop, but let's modify based on our cropping pattern. At least we can do this before that, right?
Yeah.
So in the operation file, you go to OPS close that. So I'm going to use OPS get files. This files.ops. I will read whatever is available over zip. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is it is going to be a plow operation in May or in May 1st, right? 1st of May. So that is my first years of starting years of simulation, right? Then you can do one in the first year, and month is what? Month is 5. You just type 5. Day is 15, and it is a plow operation, right?
Yeah.
It is
250.
200. So you just leave the rest. The machine ID is not important. You can put 0. Crop ID, corn is 2. When you know the different crop type is from the crop database, right? Second crop ID number 2 is a corn, first soybean. Depending on your interest, the code will be taken from here. So we don't do here anything. Okay, it is a plow operation, provide 0. Okay. View operation. Okay. So what is the second? It is the 1st of June, right? Still year 1, month 6, day 1, right? Day 1 it is,
January.
and I mean, June 1, it's going to be plow operation day, right? 250 is the plow operation, 0 machine ID, and still the crop is corn, and then you provide 0 for the others as well. The plow operation. The third plow operation is in June 15, year 1, month 6, and 15, and this is the same now operation, right? 0, 0, and 0. And the planned operation is on the same day, June 15, provide 6 and 15. This is a planting operation. Planting operation. Can use the ID. It is 1364137, right? Are you following? Huh? Okay. So machine ID is 0. Okay, now we are planting. So in OPV0, we need to provide the heat unit. Okay, remember in the manual, the step-by-step procedure. So if we have a planting operation in OPV1, we need to provide the heat unit, potential heat unit. And I will like you how you can compute the potential heat unit. So this is a planting, so we don't provide anything here. And in this part, we need to provide the plant heat unit, potential heat unit. So to provide the potential heat unit, we need to compute it first. Okay. So we go to the software, go back to the training folder, the software and tools. There is an Excel tool called potential heat unit calculator. PHU. So if you open that, okay, you come up with this. So the first tab is the heat unit calculation tab, and the second tab is the crop database with this 4 important information: biomass energy ratio, harvest index, optimal temperature, and base temperature. Okay, and here is you need to provide the maximum and the minimum temperature for your station. Okay, and the heat unit is calculated based on the equation that I have shown you. This is step-by-step procedure. Where is the heat unit?
Page 43.
43.
أربع صفر.
So this is the equation for completing the cumulative potential heat unit. So what is the needed from your side is to provide the maximum and the minimum temperature, which are in yellow here, for your own station. Okay, and the second part is you will provide, one is the yellow part you will be providing. You need to provide the planting date, the harvesting date, and the crop ID of the crop that you are going to plant. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if you remember, we have the weather information about our data, right? Input data from the training material. You have input, and there is a weather data. So what I'm required to do is, we are working for the Angular, so I'm required to provide these values, maximum and minimum temperature. Right? The potential heating calculator, I'm required to provide this maximum and minimum temperature. You can modify the beginning date and the end date as well, depending on your data. So let me copy all this. Copy and put it here in the Lemo, in this template, paste special values. Make sure always there up to 1000. So now I have updated the temperature maximum and minimum, and the rest what is needed is to provide the planting date. What is the planting date for our crop now from the schedule? May 15, and you will provide the year as well. We can do it like, so when did you plant it? In the year 2015 or 2016, 2019? So we need to specify that as well. So let's use, like, let's say for example in the year 2015, let's say. So planting date, the first one you provide the month. The month is May 05, and the date, no, the planting date is not May. I think it's June, right?
Mm.
It's June 06/50. June 50. I think people are getting tired. Like June 15, so 2015, and then the harvesting date is when?
October 25.
October. That means what? The same year, right? The same year. October is 10. 10. What date?
25.
25. October 25. But the same year.
Crop ID is 2, I think.
Yeah. What?
I think it says
15?
16 October. Okay, 16 October.
Oh, I'm getting older.
Okay. 15. And the crop ID, you check it from here. Also, the crop database is from here. So form is true. Make sure that the ID is similar here. Let's make it true. So now, after completing all this, you will have the potential heat unit
Yeah.
at the end. N98.
Yeah.
So then what we are going to do is, now we are done with this one. We don't need the heat calculator. Okay? What we need is just this one, 1098. So I don't need also the weather information. So I'm going to provide with the potential heat unit in OPB1, okay, 1098. And then you need to provide nothing in OPB2, but you need to provide the plant population in OPB5. Plant population means the number of plants per square meter. It's the number of plants per square meter. So if you have already a field, you know the number of plants per square meter, right? you have the size of the field and you have the number of plants. And you need to make sure that this plant population density is at the time of harvest.
Okay.
Because at the time of plant you might have many population
Yeah.
and then some of them might die or some of them might be eaten by animals.
Yeah.
Then if you use the planting population at the beginning, you will end up overestimating the yield. So in order to estimate the yield appropriately, you need to use the density during harvest time.
It's practical. Count.
To count
Yeah.
My area is
big,
3,000 hectares.
yeah. So what you do is you take sample. So you go somewhere and in 5 meter by 5 meter you count and go another place and then take a sample and use the average plant population density. Yeah. Otherwise you will not be counting 300 hectare
It's
plant.
impossible.
How we can estimate for some crops if we cannot count the plants or the crop numbers? For example, for weight crop,
So
F crop.
yeah, but the thing is there are some standards on the literature. Okay, what is the appropriate number plant number per square meter? Okay, there are also some websites that provide some rough estimate of plant population per square meter, depending on the type of crop. So if you don't have anything in number, you might use literature values or values from the website. In the training manual also I provided some websites here towards the end that a plant population for the different crops.
Yeah. So
These are for the different types of crops, just to have some rough estimate. But in order to do the actual, you need to have actual count. Misbah, how you counting the plant population? He is doing on forage. True. Is it difficult?
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, but you need to read detail how to
Because
count.
forest are the number of population.
Yeah.
If people are one forest, the number of 100 or 100.
Yeah, sometimes it is difficult. But if you would like to have actual data, you need to count. That is the underlying point, right? Okay. Yeah, putting that. So what else? So you provide the number of population. So the standard, for example, you can get 8. Okay. Everyone getting out? So mind is that uh, we have come up to here after planting, right?
yeah.
So the other step is to just harvest and kill.
Yeah.
So we can finish that one. The harvest is in October 15. So where did we plant? Here, right? So October 15, 10, 15, harvest is 451, right? I mean 290.
290.
451 is a kill. And provide 0 for the machine ID and nothing else you provide. So you provide 0. On the same date you can provide kill. So we are killing, so that's not regrow back. So for kill operation we use 451. 0 and 0, 0. For the value below this, we just remove it. So we have flow operation, planting operation, harvest, and kill operation. So that is the modified operation of ours. Then you like to save this part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it like corn.ops, for example, right? So file name you write it here. Corn, not write dot, so it will use its own. Just write corn. Okay. After you write corn here, we just press the right button. Right button. Now you can see that we have, if you say get files, we have two. 5.ops was the default, and now we have corn.ops. After we come from lunch, we'll see how we integrate this corn.ops in our subbasic and run it. Is it good? Confusing or?
But here when is 18.ops and 4.ops.
Huh?
When I said get file,
Write paragraph. If you write it, it needs to appear.
Yeah, methods.
Huh?
Method.
you know,
Right.